I love to sing la 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 Elmo song.
Warming up.
La 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 Elmo song. Steady the fan. La 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 la.
Portal Games has a ongoing live.
They do every Monday. I was wondering if we should share that with like Sina Thomas or your board game friends because it's about prototyping.
Yeah. Would have been nice to do so.
Well, you know, it'll be still be there when it's done.
Just warming up and manually resharing.
Yep.
President Lizard saying hello.
Okay, see you, President.
Resident.
Oh, Resident. Whoa. What election did he win? And did we vote?
Haven't finalized mailing list. So I'll stick first to the old school messaging. As always, if you are watching, we cannot tell until you message.
Hey, Pico.
So, oh, we didn't add them here. Maybe we should add it here so
Add
people
what?
can see the new arrivals.
Well, I don't know, you put there pa. I'm thinking of moving the unlocks inside. I mean, to be one, they're here, but then also because they're not. They're like long-term dormancy.
So starting in a bit. So Pico, how you doing?
How you doing?
This will be a game review, discussion review strategy.
Yeah, I tagged them as reviews on BGG because I don't know how else to categorize these things sometimes.
Because it's not a video essay.
And tsaka they're only
I wish-
preset.
I wish we had the time and we were paid to do video essays.
But-
That would be interesting.
If we're a video essay though, then it would totally have to be like, it wouldn't be a live stream.
Yeah, it have to be edited.
It's a pre-recorded thing. It's
Because if it were a live stream, then we'd have those teleprompters and
teleprompters.
so we can have the script moving.
So fancy.
Because then we pre-wrote it,
Mm-mm.
but then we're still going to do it live. So we need something that's scrolling, right? Pico says he's doing fine. Just got time to drop by.
It's nice. We miss having you on the show more regularly, but it's okay. We're just around.
I guess we can start just to make the most of time. You still have your diner to take care of.
Yeah, wait, let me just get through this drama. I
got
finally made the fruit parfait, and
I
then
got
now she's
Rocky
telling
into
me her story.
Happy Hearts.
Yay!
Hungry Hearts. I forgot what
I
it was called.
completed another one.
What's the name of the game again?
Uh, I forget.
It's basically a mobile game version of Midnight Tokyo Diner, Midnight Diner, Tokyo Stories. Pretty cool. Um,
Sorry, Grandpa's remembering things.
yeah.
But man, what is the demographic for this game? Because you think the gameplay is super simple, then like it's an all ages game, but then it's like a kid dealing with a second family,
Mhm.
and then
It's not really a kids game. It's really more.
yeah,
It's for people who like visual novels and stuff because it has that feel. It has that um, cliffhanger drama story
and yet
narrative.
there's still like enough game to
Mhm.
like you're still trying to figure out things like what food combinations you can eat. Anyway, that's enough of that.
Yeah, I guess we will start. Oh, that's the wrong time because I used this to time my cooking.
It's okay. I have to. I'll run the video now.
Oh yeah! Really right!
This is Toby.
And this is
And
Rocky.
if it's your first time here, welcome to Baduy Pride, our little space on the internet where we talk about anything we want.
It is completely unscripted and not entirely accurate, but at least it's honest. Join us as we talk about everything and anything random live.
And if it's not your first time here, thank you so much for joining us again. It's another Monday, so it means we're talking about games. And this game in particular was a requested topic.
Yeah, Mitch, who is not yet here, but requested this a long time ago, and I think it's really more because of the particular way we ended up playing the
Mhm.
game with them, and that's gonna be a story today. But it's called Point Salad,
Mhm.
and this is a meta humor title for the game
Mhm.
because point salad is an in industry sort of jokey term before about certain types of games that boil down to the whole
Many ways to get points.
many ways to get points, get victory points as a way to win the game. And then examples of this are things like what Castles of Burgundy or something.
Mhm.
They're yeah. So it's a thing. We don't formally call it the mechanic
Mhm.
that it's a point salad mechanic, but it is what it is. So the people behind this being Molly Johnson, Robert Melvin, and Sean Stankiewicz um, of AEG, or no, at least they were published through AEG, decided to like make a literal point salad game.
The game plays very quickly. It's a fun card drafting and set collection game with and that's according to the publisher, over 100 different ways to score points.
Yeah, that's on the back text also.
And I would not be surprised if once we start showing you the cards, you'll see why.
yes.
The game is incredibly recognized with so many awards and nominations throughout the years from 2019 to 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And um, is one of those games that I feel nicely falls in that area where you can play it with family, you can play it with competitive friends, you can play it casually, and it still works.
Yeah. And in addition, this game has seen many, many local releases through the efforts of AEG and CMON. So you'll notice, like, our version is what is called the Southeast Asian edition because look, it's a mango. Normally, it is a yellow bell pepper, but here the illustration is a very
Mm.
distinctly Asian mango, which is pretty cool. But mechanically, it's not different. It's
So-
just a change of image.
Let's open the box and see what the game's about.
On a side note, I've been thinking about this a lot more now. So we have this little nub for making it easier to open certain boxes, and recently on the Kickstarter for Castles of Mad King Ludwig, they were asking backers, where do you want the half moon cut? Like, do you want it on the sides? But then if you display the box, you have this depression, or do you want it top and bottom? But that makes it weird.
So the game comes with one, two, three manuals because of the different language
Yeah, so this
offered.
one supports English, Filipino, and
It has
Indonesian.
a nice case that allows you to keep the cards from spilling out. But beyond that,
Yeah, then you feel like you could totally have more cards because it's just it's a lot. Yeah, and then you have your two-sided cards. On the one side are the different salad elements. So like here we have onions, lettuce, mango, tomato.
there are a total of 108 cards, and the 108 cards is spread out to having the different types of um,
The s-
salad components.
Yeah, we can't say vegetables now because of the mango.
And each card on the opposite side has a different way to score points. So that just tells you that this is one of those games. This is one of those games wherein every time you play, you will find yourself adopting to different strategies. For example, will you try to get most of the lettuce and score 5 points for each pair? Will you see if you can have an even total of mangoes for 7 points? Will you actually see if you can make sure you have at least three of each vegetable? And every time you do that, you score 5 points. These different point combinations are then what determine how you'll score. But twist, the only way to fulfill them is to get the cards for the other side.
And that's why they get to say that there are over 100 combinations because technically every single card in the game is a scoring card, yeah, or it's a vegetable, or a salad ingredient.
Mhm.
And that's like the main challenge of the game. Because what happens is that from a market standpoint, and it's hard to demo here, but you'll have two ingredients revealed, and the stack with the
Mhm.
with the point side face up, and then on your turn, you're allowed to get two vegetables from the exposed piles, and there's
From
going
the
to be
market.
from the market. There's going to be three columns in total, so that's two ingredients per column, so that's six in total. Or you can get one of the point cards as they are, face up, but only one of them for the turn. So it's either do I get a way to score points or do I get ingredients.
Now, to make sure that every game feels even more different, despite the fact that there's already 108 cards, the number of cards you use in the game is affected by the number of players.
Yes.
If there are 6 players, then the entire deck is used. But if there are only 2 players, you only use 6 of each vegetable for
Yeah.
a total of 36 cards.
We've kind of perma separated like some because we've only been playing smaller player games.
As you create the tableau and we have the market and the available point cards above, whenever cards are taken from the market, cards from the point areas then go down and become cards in the market, which then adds this little feel of stratagem. If you notice, point cards actually show what the opposite side will be.
Yeah.
So by choosing cards in the market, you can make sure a certain point card is then turned to a market card, probably to block others who you know will want that card.
Why do you speak of this strategy? What are you trying to imply?
No,
Toby?
I just motion.
Why are you motioning to me all these instances? Okay.
Or sometimes to make sure that you can grab that vegetable. If you're like hankering for a mango and there's none in the market, but then you notice the point card above the onion is a mango, then you can grab the onion, turning this into a mango, then grab the mango. The tricky part, though, in that 2 card rule when you pick up stuff is that you are only allowed to get 1 card if you get a point card. So there is that level of planning. Do you maximize with 2 cards to build up your salad, or do you grab the point cards early on so you can make sure you're doing informed decisions? But since everyone can see the point cards you've chosen, that makes your actions more predictable.
And some of the point cards are tricky because, like this one, for example, gives you 2 points for every carrot, 2 points for every onion, but minus 4 points for every mango. And you'll see different combinations of this. Like this gives you 3 points per carrot, but takes away 2 points per onion. So sometimes gathering multiple point cards without paying attention to every single line item may result in a weird plus minus situation that complicates things further. Thankfully, though, any point card that is in your tableau may be turned to its ingredient side
Once per turn.
once per turn during the game, but you can never flip it back.
Yes. So part of the game is finding ways to maximize your strategies. If you can, for example, build a tableau that allows you to gain points per carrot as well as points every 3 carrots, then you are doubly making carrots effective. Each time you get carrots, then you are getting more points. Even better, you could grab a card like this, which gives you negative points if you think you're not sure you'll get your carrots, and then later on, turn it into lettuce because you don't want the negative points to hit you. So all these little opportunities for strategy make this game quite competitive, despite how simple and how approachable the game systems are.
Yeah, and and it's funny because ultimately that's it. That is point salad. The rules on themselves are very simple in such that you take an action every turn, which is do you draw two visible ingredients or do you
Mm.
take a point card, and then you're done. And this continues until you pretty much run out of cards. So um, it's super straightforward in that sense, but the different combinations of point cards is what really um, you know drives things around, and that's where all the replayability and infinite strategy come along because of the fact that they've created so many different combinations, whether it's sets of vegetables, point per vegetable, points for the most, points for the least,
Mhm.
points for even and odd, all that stuff.
Strategies.
So,
So a large part of why we love this is because I have infamously played a certain song one time when we decided to try playing the
to
game.
be fair, okay, we gotta some context. To be fair, because of the way like Toby likes to run RPGs, similarly when we play board games, we like to have soundtracks for the board game. In fact, if you search on Spotify the name of the more popular board games, you will find other people do the same thing and have created playlists specific for playing certain board games.
Yes.
Now, Toby does not have Spotify because he's not that person.
Hey, Mitch!
So instead, he searches YouTube. And during this particular game, he decided to search the infamous search term that is vegetable song to see what would come up. And he brought us to, if you search for it on YouTube, it is most likely the first result,
So
which
there
is
is
vegetable song / song for kids from the Singing Walrus.
so the Singing Walrus is I guess you could say an online show or an online
Yeah,
channel
it's a YouTube
that
channel.
caters
Yeah.
to kids and makes various songs inspired by different topics. They have a song called the Vegetable Song, which is extremely earwormy, and we we ended up singing along while playing. But as the game progressed, make it stop, and we just loved it so much. We can't play the actual song because that will hit us with a copyright strike. But if you check YouTube, you want to screen share just so they can see what it looks like.
I can do that. Wait, let me just be safe. Let me turn
Yeah,
off
yeah. Because it might play.
mute my audio, and then nope, not that.
You know you have found the right one when you see the following visual. There. Ta-da!
Okay, yeah. So it's this first one, which is vegetable song, and actually we can sing along just by looking at the lyrics. Let's ignore this monster math, which always comes
Maybe you
up.
should kill the audio. It might be playing to the feed. There you go.
Okay, yeah. So yay, singing walrus, prum, 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 prum. And then it's all 1, 2, 3. Carrot, cabbage.
Broccoli. 1, 2,
Oh,
3.
they're close captions for this.
Yeah.
Let's chop some carrots.
Carrots.
Carrots. Na na na. Let's
Let's
chop some cabbage. Cabbage. Na na na. Chop some broccoli.
It's an
Broccoli.
earwormy song.
Na na na.
Vegetables for you and me.
And it's
Oh my
not
God.
done.
So the song plays for a good length of time.
Some vegetables for you
And
and me.
nicely loops if you leave it on
And
a
we
loop.
sing na na na.
Na, na, na,
We sing na na
na,
na na.
na, na. Vegetables for you.
You.
Vegetables for me.
Me.
Vegetables for you and me.
Okay, we gotta stop. Okay, we're gonna stop the vegetable stuff.
Yes, we love this song so much. Oh my God, Mitch is tagging the others.
Yeah, so it's like a given that when we're chatting with our game group and then we just type na na na, everybody knows what we're talking about. It's the song. It's just disturbing because you think it ends with the three vegetables. No, it does not. It lists so many things. Onions,
Onions. Leeks.
leeks.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
gosh.
So this has become our unofficial official song for
Mm.
playing Point Salad. And Point Salad really only plays out for like 15 to 30 minutes.
Mhm.
So the goal becomes to finish the game as soon as possible before you go crazy because of the music. And it's quite the incentive to run through it very quickly. Okay, now we can talk about strategies because we talked about the songs.
So part of your strategy should include playing music that forces everyone to play faster. And that way they don't think too much. Because admittedly, games like Point Salad can cause certain people to get analysis paralysis.
That is true. Because
Rather than just choosing cards and playing, they then calculate every card that's visible to decide their possibilities.
I mean, because like remember, at any one time, you are gonna have three different point cards
Mhm.
visible. So that from that point on, you're already starting to try to think of your
Yes.
strategies, and how the different cards point together. You're also gonna think about the number of cards that are in the deck because you know it's a known quantity based on the number of players. You'll know that there is like 5, 6, 7 type of each
and
ingredient.
and all the cards are visible, so you can actually see how many are present and how many have already been played. Hey,
There-
Carlo!
There is no hidden information in this
Mhm.
game. Everybody keeps their point cards and their ingredient cards, clearly visible on the table. So that can drive you a little bonkers. But we have to show more mango.
Yeah. We should show mango because mango is ours, so we should have mango.
Mango.
But I don't want it beside the orange because it won't be that scene.
Here, more
Red,
mangoes.
green, and red. There you go.
Na na na. Screenshot.
Wait, the mango's not this one.
You have to put it up. Now it's
Yeah.
back beside the horse.
I know. I know. And then people will stare at this and wonder, why is it missing one?
Okay, we need a thumbnail, guys, when we update this later on.
Okay, so yes, make sure you nudge your players, you nudge your friends. Don't take too long. It's just a fun game. We're supposed to finish it quick and start a new one.
Yep.
So be aware of analysis paralysis possibilities. Next tip.
There is no best way to play this in the sense that I know some who start gathering ingredients.
They monopolize one ingredient.
Yeah,
or two.
and then they don't have actual point cards. Whereas on the flip side, there are some who like start gathering multiple point cards and like trying
Stay
to figure
flexible.
out a plan because at least they know what they're doing. Because you can gather ingredients all you want, but until you have a point card, there's no point. You don't know really if they're gonna score, and you might miss out on a point card that actually lets you score your cards.
And that's the second way you can play this game. Pay attention to what others are getting and always grab those point cards. Because while they're useless for you, you can always flip them over to the vegetable side later to help you score points for the other cards.
Yeah. I've seen Toby like experiment with hoarding point cards because I know he's also looking at the reverse ingredient, and I've seen him like every turn he starts flipping one over and like, hey, I saw what you did there. You were trying to get the mango. So I mean that it is, and it's knowing that flexibility. So
Mm.
in that sense, I guess as a tip, I would say don't be afraid of cards that give negative points.
Yes,
Because sometimes the positive points they do give
are
are
good offset.
totally worth the trade off. Like
Mhm.
earlier, we saw it was like 4 points on the positive side versus
Mhm.
one negative point. So that's not bad. This one it gives you point score for carrots and mangoes, but penalty for onions on a 2 minus 1. A two, nah, nah, nah. Okay, I think we're connected now. Nah, nah, nah. But this one gives 4 points per carrot and negative points for lettuce and tomato. But it may balance out for that. We want to double check. Are we okay? Okay. Can you see us now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. So yeah, so it's all a balancing act. And
Mhm.
then sometimes you can make a lot of points with these cards that give points per
Mhm.
card. Like if you have been hoarding a particular ingredient, then it works out.
Mhm.
In particular, though, I love the ones that are sets. So
Mhm.
like this one's like onion and mango or tomato and mango.
And that's when you nicely have to find sets that overlap. By
Yeah.
making sure you overlap your sets, you are getting more for each combination.
Yeah,
of
so
them.
like in this example, both of them involve mango. So then you just have to gather tomatoes and onions. So don't don't in my experience, don't try to gather all ingredients. Don't try to spread out. Then just try to focus on a few and get as many point cards as you can that help those vegetables more than others.
Now, it might be strange sometimes if, let's say, you're getting cards like these that give you points for mangoes, and then you find yourself looking at this card. But realize by grabbing a card like this, which you will never score, you are still denying other players that 7 points.
And then Toby's gonna score a lettuce. That's Look at that point denier. Point denial is always a Toby strategy.
Na, na, na.
Mitch remembers Toby was hoarding the lettuce, but Nikki needed some.
Magulay ako eh.
What an evil. What are they? Chickens? Chicks? I don't know. They're like giant chicks singing about vegetables.
I thought they were ducks.
Vegetables for you.
You.
Vegetables for me.
Me.
Vegetables for you and me.
Oh my gosh.
And it's sad because it says some vegetables for you and me. And like, oh my god, we're not able to catch the sum. It's just like vegetables for you and me. Yeah. So, but that's point salad. It just amuses me the fact that there are so many versions of this game,
Mhm.
and then they keep toggling one of the ingredients.
I actually haven't noticed what has changed in the ingredients for the others.
I noticed only because I was trying to find our edition. So like or they just changed the arrangement
This
because
looks like an arrangement change.
the arrangement images, yeah, the images are slightly different.
So let's see. That's tomato. That's the yellow pepper. Okay, the others are still tomato, yellow pepper.
Wow, are we super unique because
I
we
think
got
we're
a
the
mango?
ones who are super unique.
That's awesome though. Yeah, they just changed the arrangement on the
Mhm.
different tins. Some of them are released in tins. That's what amuses me, other than a cardboard box, which is like, oh. So the C edition is very distinct.
Mhm.
Good job, C.
Mango.
Oh wait,
Mango.
look at this. Look
Russian?
at this Ukrainian.
Oh.
It has a tuber, some sort of
It
potato.
replaced. It replaced. Which one? Not the carrot. Not. Oh,
Cabbage.
Cabbage
Oh.
is different.
It's a beet. Oh, if you look at the Ukrainian edition of this game, it's
Okay.
super
It
different.
replaced the onion.
Ah.
Oh, I want to find this. I want to find this edition.
And then which one's this? This
You
one.
think it will still
is-
work if we bought that edition and mix it with ours?
Oh, look at this one. This one it replaced something else. It gave a green.
Lettuce.
It has a
No,
green.
no,
It
no.
has lettuce, but it has a green pepper
Yeah,
and a yellow pepper. Oh.
7.
What
It's
did they
more
take
more.
out?
Isn't it one more?
No, it's always 7.
No, it's 6.
Hmm.
They added the 7th.
Okay. Okay. They added the other green pepper. Interesting.
Which tells me we can buy the other editions, mix it in.
But then but it's tricky to mix because the combination, the point on the back will match the
Yeah,
vegetables.
so some of them are suddenly very specific.
It's just you're just breaking the game. Okay. Mitch mentions it was on sale. Yeah, we got the C editions on sale specifically on Gaming Live on the early days of their Lazada store. So yeah, it totally works.
Beyond that, there aren't really that many other tips. Again, because the game is very light and fast paced.
But also very random.
Um, maths is hard at the end of the game, so it might be good to have, whether it's a scratch paper or your digital device or whatever, because you'll have to do computations for each scorecard,
Yeah,
and that can be hard to juggle in your brain sometimes.
and they make everybody score each card individually. Don't be all clever and like, these 3 cards score me 27. And like, no, let's just score it individually just to be sure. Especially when there's a mix of penalties and bonuses. Then score each card one by one just to be safe. I think
You
that's
you
a
don't
pro
want
tip.
to get a win because you calculated wrong. You don't want to lose because you calculated wrong. So just be kind and score each one carefully.
Common question tend to come up is this a gateway game? Is this good for beginners?
I say yes. While the math can be complicated and while the brain power can be crazy, um, I feel that's only necessary if you're super playing to win. But if you're just playing to have fun with your friends, then it's a fun game because it becomes that, I'll get this because you wanted that. And, in the end, let's find out if we win.
The brilliance of the game also is that really it's symbol driven. That this is your lettuce, this is 1 point for each of them, and then there's like you still have some cards where it's just text. So this is 5 points for every missing vegetable, but most of them are just pictures. So tomato plus lettuce equals 5, or the triple set equals 8. So that really helps from a readability, playability perspective. So yeah, I agree that at the very least, it's a decent, moderate game. It's a good bridge game into more complicated games. Like you can play Point Salad before playing a more complicated, Point Salad game. But yeah, but because of the simplicity, it actually makes it super accessible. Um, we have friends who are very conscious about size of games for traveling. In truth, this box is way too big to play this game. So if you decide to just carry the cards around in a pouch or something, totally works. You probably don't need to bring the rule book with you. That's fine. Because as it stands in this condition, the box is not full.
Yes.
The box is super not full, and they have this very generous plastic insert inside. So we have friends like that who like super min max like the card storage for transport purposes. But if you so yes, you can do that, and this is definitely a good game to do that. Sort of like the original Sushi Go, where you can play it anywhere, and it's quite a good game to bring around.
This or Sushi Go?
Both. Original Sushi Go and this game.
No, but which one would you pick?
Oh, I think I'd still pick Sushi Go.
Same. While this one's nice, simple, and elegant, Sushi Go scales nicely.
Yeah,
And we're not even talking about Sushi Go Party. We're just talking about Sushi Go general.
And then I think what's this? The scoring at the end's a bit of a bummer. I mean, I get it, but it in true Point Salad fashion, the game will end with you, going scribbling on pieces of paper like, okay, my mango
So, like,
lettuce did this,
or like 15 next card plus
because it's literally
20,
going to be like,
35.
okay, every
plus-
combination of carrot cabbage and onion. Let me check. But I only have one. Okay, 8 points. And then my next card. Uh, somehow I have the most cabbage though. So okay, 10. And
So
then,
that's 18.
so it's a lot of that at the end of the game. It does not come with an official score sheet,
No.
unlike other big points
And
out
I kind of thought, given they have a box, they would have at least included some scoring mechanism.
Yeah,
The Prince of Egypt, Little Prince, Make Me a Planet had a scoring tracker in the back.
yeah. I
with
mean, we don't need a
tokens.
calculator, but at least something to like.
It would have been nice if
Yeah.
they considered adding that as part of the thing.
But this
So,
is really a card game that they try to keep very economical in release. There are no tokens. There are no chips.
or
whatever.
it's a card game that could have been simpler, but they wanted more shelf space, so they made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess that's pretty much all we can say about Point Salad. I am now nervously trying not to sneeze.
Na,
My nose
na,
is
na.
itchy.
Sing the sneeze away. Leaks.
Oh my god, I'm gonna
Leaks.
sneeze.
Na na na.
Anyway,
Vegetables for you. You.
yeah,
Vegetables for me.
that's our
Me.
episode on Point Salad.
Vegetables for you and me. One more time.
That's all the time we have for this episode. We had a lot of fun. We hope you enjoyed.
Just in time.
We hope you enjoyed joining us for this episode, and we'll see you again next time.
For questions or suggestions for future episodes or specific games that you hope will feature, then fill out the form at bit.ly Baduy Pride Ideas. We will naturally prioritize games we own. So there are a few requests for games we have played but do not own copies of or have only played digital editions of. We'll try to get around to it in time. You can follow us on Twitter, Altobi No Shade, RG Sunico.
You could also check out our blog, baduypride.com, for all the previous episodes and stuff about us.
Feel free to continue the conversation in the comments below and let us know what you think about the game. And are you now angry that you can't stop singing the vegetable song as well? You can comment about that. Be sure to subscribe for notifications, whether on Facebook or YouTube, so you don't miss our next live stream. Once again, I'm Rocky.
And I'm Toby.
And this is Baduy Pride.
So to say
Na na na.
Thanks for
Vegetables
watching.
for you.
You.
Vegetables for me.
Me.
Vegetables for you and me. And we sing na na na.